Hello Patreon viewers. So today's lesson is kind of an advice type thing, kind of a warning type thing, kind of a man, this week did not go as I wanted to, or as I wanted it to. I had planned on finally being ready to show you how you can actually practice that trilogy intro by Mr. Malmsteen, but I have my Ganglion Cyst on the back of my wrist. It has reared its ugly head for a second time. So what this is about, kind of like a PSA, public service announcement type thing. Kind of like warning signs in case you guys ever come across a similar situation. Okay? I believe what caused it, that really put it over the edge, is unfortunately practicing with the fucking riff bands. I still think the riff bands are a fantastic idea, but I don't know. I'm convinced that I have weak tendons and whatnot. As I referred to one video, I have bitch wrists. So anyway, basically what happens, I'll take this off to demonstrate. Should be fine. So basically, it's a splint. See, there's the splint part. Keep the joint from moving around. So I minimized my guitar playing, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent right now. So what the hell happened? So I noticed that in certain things I can play okay and not feel pain. And this is what my hand and everything looks like at this position. So, of course, I'm being a fool and risking hurting myself again, because I'm going to demonstrate what the hell may have happened. There's a particular riff I was practicing that involves a stretch, to where I'm going, that kind of distance. So right now, I feel a bit of strain right in here. It is definitely not a muscle pain. It is, I'm guessing, tendon or nerve pain. But anyway, the riff, that was basically what I was doing with riff bands on. I think I had all three. But that, and then doing riff band practice with some other things involving some stretch type stuff, and unfortunately having to fight, the pressure kind of pulling in this way is what put too much strain back here. And I also noticed that for certain things, hitting some stuff, you see how my wrist kind of pushes forward a little bit like that? Some stuff you have to, like doing bar chords, could be helpful. Doing, what was some stuff? I'm trying to think. There are some chords where, like I'll tell students, if you're muting strings you don't want to mute, push your wrist forward and you'll get more up on the tip of your fingers. Now, I don't have to do that so much because my fingers know what the heck to do. But I know that if I push forward like this, then I get a lot of pull right here. See, because that right there. See how all this tension is pulling back here. So, I don't know, well, it's not a big cyst. But this is a little bit of a bump. You can kind of see it there. I don't know if I can get it to show better on this. No, I can't. Anyway, but yeah, there's a little bit of a bump right here. You can kind of see it there. That's the cyst. So, if you feel a lot of strain in how you're playing, I would recommend trying to change your position. Now, one thing I noticed that helped is, like for certain things, like if I'm down here, like normally what would happen, you see how much my wrist is kind of bent like that? So I'll push my elbow out, and that allows this to be more straight instead of bent like I normally would. And a lot of times I would talk about like having the elbow tucked in for a lot of things. Certain things, yes. Like playing over here, my elbow's tucked in. But when I'm playing over here, I know I have to kind of change my position a bit in order to avoid having that strain on the back of my wrist. One of my riffs, getting that stretch right there, that was really painful at one point. And I thought about changing it to that. Whoops. Instead of doing to avoid the strain, and that did kind of pull a little bit there. I'm still waiting for a lot of the inflammation to go down. Hopefully the cyst to fucking go down. So even though I'm a very big advocate of pushing yourself to grow and be stronger, and you forcing your body to adapt to, different things like picking really fast, you have to be willing to push yourself with that. Even these sorts of things, See, that stuff I don't feel any strain on the back of my wrist. Probably shouldn't be even playing that much. Anyway, so just if you feel a bunch of strain back here, or I guess in any kind of joint, try and change your position and see if it gets rid of the strain. One thing I'm doing to help this go away is I'm icing it more often, keeping it in the splint more often, a lot more often, and I think this is just something I'm going to have to do all the time for the rest of my life, is take a lot of extra precautions. If you do weight training, if you do bench press, overhead press, squats, make sure that you learn how to hold the bar, so even the barbell, so the weight goes straight down into your forearm. Do not have it cocked back. This is one thing that exacerbated this the weak tendons back here. The other thing, I just did a product review or a gear review on this. Exercises for your extensor muscles, basically the reverse grip, like the back here. I'm convinced that is my problem. The back of my forearm is so underworked and underdeveloped that's what caused this bullshit to happen. And one of the things I researched said that your tendons tend to take over certain tasks when your muscles are too weak to handle the load of something. So if your muscles aren't able to handle the task you're subjecting them to, then you're putting that on the tendons, and then you can get tendinitis. In my case, the synovial fluid in my, I guess with the carpal bones, so in this joint here, the back of the wrist, has bubbled up or ballooned up, whatever you want to say. The synovial fluid has formed a nice pea-sized hard cyst on the back of my wrist. Some people have huge bubbly fuckers, and I guess some of them say it's kind of jelly-like, and I've seen them pop them. I haven't gotten that desperate yet. I almost did one night. The idea of sterilizing a needle, like a sewing needle or something, and jabbing the son of a bitch and squeezing all this shit out. I haven't gotten that far. I don't recommend doing that. If I had the money, I'd go to a doctor and see what the hell can be done. I know. Anyway, whatever. Summary here. And I'll probably end up anyway. No tangent. Stay focused. So if you feel strain in your joints, that's where you need to exercise some caution in pushing yourself. And if you feel it in your wrist, whatnot, just remember, there's no muscle in the wrist itself. I really don't think there is. This is the forearms down here. This is what moves everything, right? You can see the forearm muscles moving back there. There's muscle here. There's muscle here. But what moves the fingers down? Forearm muscles do that. So, yeah. If it's in the joint and everything, if I do the super speed picking for too hard and too long, I notice that I will get a bit of pain back here at the elbow, which means I just pushed it too long, pushed it too hard. So I just give it a little bit of rest and it goes away real fast. So, yeah, don't push joint pain stuff. Muscle pain, push it. If you're playing a lot of stuff and you feel it's getting like tense in here, that's your forearm muscle. Most likely that's just your forearm muscle. So I push that, absolutely. I haven't had any problem with that. And I know I do not believe that's what caused this. I already explained what I believe caused that. Same thing with pushing this stuff. I mean, you just kind of a matter of building up endurance for certain things. So muscle pain, not a problem. That's part of making your muscles stronger, forcing them to adapt. Joint pain, tendon pain, big fucking difference. Your connective tissue does not heal as fast as your muscle tissue. Again, your connective tissue, your tendons and ligaments do not heal as fast as your muscles. So, I have an idea for next week. What I'm starting to do is work on stuff like this. Yep. Actually, that wasn't too bad. And kind of work on basically work on some right hand stuff. I'm not very good at it yet. Kind of just started doing it. And I thought it'd be kind of an interesting idea while this heals up, kind of put together a program of how can you start to develop your right hand, or for your left-handed people, your left hand. So this way you can do more interesting things in your music writing and playing and whatnot. So, okay, I think I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully this advice will help stave off unnecessary injuries. Done.